Previously on K-Time TV.
So you're expecting sex because you paid for the date?
No guy's gonna refuse sex. Simple as that.
What if she gets there and she tells you I'm celibate, I'm waiting?
Why are you getting naked in front of me?
No, I know. This is. Let me ask a quick question. Let me.
If you're booking a room, you fucking. Let's get back to topic now, because I like this, because sometimes because now it's more like we're talking about getting naked on the first date. So, tell me your views.
I feel like if you want to have sex on the first date, just do it. It just depends on the person.
Would you have sex on the first
date? No, I wouldn't. I just feel like I just feel like some guys. I feel like some guys.
You can't say you wouldn't.
She would know if she's gonna have sex.
No, you can't say. She might marry the right guy that might spark her day.
Even if you spark my day, doesn't mean I'm gonna off-pant as a reward for you. Never in my wildest dreams.
I'm gonna spark your day, you know.
I just feel like guys don't respect you if you have sex on the first date. They don't.
Hey. Hi. You alright? Yeah. Oh, you're quiet though. Hey.
She's making me shy.
No, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Where are you from?
Well, my parents are from Gambia.
Oh, Gambia.
And I was born here, so I guess I'm Gambian, but not English.
Oh,
no, I'm not English.
one of them, yeah.
No, I'm not English. I'm British.
You're British, yeah?
Yeah.
So you know more.
But I'm Gambian still.
Oh. You from Reading?
Yeah.
Cool. What do you do then?
Just uni.
Uni. How's that going as well?
It's alright.
Struggle. Look at your face. Your face doesn't say it's alright.
Like, you don't, I'm not saying, like, if you've decided in your head, cool, but, like, life doesn't always work out the way you think it'll work out. And I'm sure, like, no, I'm not saying, like, but, like, say 5 years from now, there's probably stuff that you've done which you're like, nah, I'd never do that. So, me personally, I try not to say I'd never do this or never do that, because you actually don't know. Like, it takes more than to be feeling a guy to, like, you know, sleep with him. But I don't know. I'm just saying, don't ever say never.
Yeah, that is correct. All right. Do you have a point to make, or can I move on to the next? Okay, you don't have no point.
I did, about what he said about, oh, you never know what will spark, whatever. I know what will spark, honey. I'm prepared for the worst. Okay, yeah, the date might be great, but do not, in your wildest dream, expect me to reward you with my usna. No. That's never happening.
So it's not Usi no more, it's usna.
No, but I'm saying you might have chemistry. You guys might be talking for a while. You might have chemistry. You go on a date. You like the guy. You're feeling him. Why wouldn't you?
I would feel him, but I can feel him with his clothes on. I'm not going to feel him and then say, oh, he's done a good job, you know, that dinner was so great. And we're going to a hotel.
There might be more to it, though. There might be more to just a date. You might have gone out before, whatever. There might be more to it than just that.
But at the same time, there's other ways to reward a person. Like, for instance, like you said, you might have got to know the person before, but you might not have classified those other things as dates. This might be the first stepping stone to you understanding your feelings, and then you decide to go out. I wouldn't then say, oh, yeah, because it was a great date and because we've been good friends before, I'm now going to give you...
No, but say it wasn't about, like, rewarding the person. Like, say you actually just wanted to... Because I feel like there's sort of that perception of, like, whenever a girl has sex, it's like, oh, he's done a good job with the date, whatever. But, like, some girls might just want to as well. Like, it's not about, oh, he did a good job. It's just, like, I'm feeling him or whatever I want to. Like, I don't think you should ever like have sex with someone to like reward them. Like, it's just because you paid for a date, that doesn't mean anything. But if you want to, I think that's what he's talking about.
Quick question. So, what's the reward thing about though? Because why must it be a reward for us?
That's the question I was going to jump onto.
Why must it be a reward for us to have sex with females?
That's the perception that guys give, like, oh, what you mean, I've paid for this date, I've taken you here, I've taken you. It's an expectation almost, like in that sense, yeah. Whereas girls aren't usually the ones to pay for the first date, so there's rewards you for what? Do you know what I mean? Like, if a guy's paid for the first date, it's like payback sort of thing. That's where the perception comes from of reward, I think.
Wait, quick question. Does the guy need to pay for the first date?
What's good, my guy?
Not much, man.
Chilling, yeah? You're the first one who's relaxed in the chair. Look at you, sinking in. Oh, okay, talk to me. Tell me your name, bro.
Name's Ethan. I'm from Reading.
What's your last name?
Daniel.
Where you from?
I'm from Ghana, but I'm also half French from my dad's side.
You're from Ghana and your last name is Daniel.
Yeah, but I'm French from my dad's side.
Oh.
You see, what's my...
So what do you do then, boss?
I'm in uni.
Full-time student, yeah?
Yeah, full-time student, yeah.
How's that going?
Stressed.
Does the guy need to pay for the first date?
You've asked me out!
No. Listen, hold on. Wait. Did I feed you? No, hold on. Am I a father? Am I a mother to feed you? No, don't give me.
Wait.
Yes, he does have to pay someone out. He's paying
You feed me when I was a child.
No. You see, no, it's not yes you do. No, wait, let me answer the question. This will answer the question.
Wait. Go on.
The chemistry between you, it will not be awkward for the bill when it comes. There you go. As a man, when the bill comes, a man will pay. There's no the chemistry is not. Listen,
If you're
you get me. You know.
She's guessing me.
Listen, the fact that girls are expecting a guy to pay, I mean, it's the expectation. You're expecting him to pay for you. No. If you're expecting me to pay for it, I'm not going to pay for it. Bring your own wallet. Simple as that. When I leave the house, I always make sure I have my bank card with me. If you leave the house, make sure you also have it.
Wild. Like, the whole use of the term expectation to pay on a first date, an expectation is simply, if this happens, then this should result in that. Like, if the guy comes planning to pay, he's expecting to pay. Why should we pretend? Like, I feel like it's silly, like, for me to get out my purse to pretend.
Be there from before, so this is not awkward when the bill comes.
In the real world, if someone asks you out, in the real world, if someone asks you out, that's like an like, in the real world, like, let's forget about these small boys, small girls. If someone asks you out anywhere, the expectation is that they pay. Like, if they ask you out, it's different if we're like, let's grab a coffee, that's a bit casual. Like, but not even first date. If someone asks you out, the expectation is they pay, because what if you don't have that money in your bank account to pay? What then?
That's the thing.
It's wild. Like, if I ask you out, then
Just make sure you got your money to pay your half, just in case. But just in case, just make sure you got your money.
Ask for the first date. If the guy's asked, that's cool. Like, it's your responsibility. You should pay. But don't you dare come out the yard without your purse.
I'll set up a test. I would test you. No, because no. Quick question. Females are out here finessing meals. Females are out here finessing meals, and I will not be finessed. You cannot finesse a finesser.
You know what it is? Honestly, no. Like I already agreed with you. I agreed with you. If I'm asking you on a date, I will pay 100%. But you know what I've learned over time is, women. It's that expectation, just that fact. The expectation. We have no problem paying for you at all. It's the fact that even after a while, you're leaving the house. Oh my God, where's my purse?
It's
a
okay.
yard. It's because no. It's a consistency. It's like, oh, just because I'm happy to pay for you doesn't mean you should take the piss.
Amen.
That expectation needs to get dropped. No. I'm not saying, but look. But my thing is, if this is after a while, you're in a relationship, you best be, if for whatever reason, your man's been paying. One day, the balance.
I'm just saying.
Don't do it now, yeah? How you doing, boss?
I'm good, very good.
Everything crisp biscuit.
Huh?
Everything great. Everything lovely.
Definitely.
Good. Talk to me, man. Tell me about yourself, man. Obviously, you're a legend.
Why are you talking
You're
nonsense?
the man.
Allow me. My name's Isu, Nigerian originally, and just live in Reading.
Chilling.
Music on the side.
Cheese on. Oh yeah, you sing, don't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Say no more. Don't worry, I'm not gonna put you on spot.
Good.
It's different. If we're in a relationship, then I'll happily take the bill sometimes. But first date, a whole big man like you ask me out and you want me to pay. Wild.
If I have to pay the bill on the first date, I'm gonna say,
Relax now.
sorry. It triggers me.
Go on, give me the scenario first. Alright, wait, relax. Yo, big man. Calm down.
Sorry, sis.
So, right.
Like I say, man.
So, I hate dates, and this is one of the reasons I never date. I bloody hate it. I find it awkward and whatnot, but I went on a date once. I met this guy at a party, and he was like, right, sometime this week, let's go on a date. I was like, yeah, absolutely fine. We'll go to lunch. He was like, oh, let's go to Bill's. Found out about his upbringing, and he's quite wealthy and everything, and he's talking about all this stuff, and I'm just like, oh, yeah, like, cool. Like, when I said I went to a pub with my family, he was like, oh, we don't do that. I was like, oh, all right. Made me sound like common. So we went on this day, and I think the waitress could kind of see that I was feeling very awkward. And at the end of the day, like, if I was expecting him to pay, which would be a treat if he did, because on a first date, obviously that's the better thing to do. If I didn't have my purse with me that day, I would have been in the most awkward situation ever, because I had to pay for mine and he paid for his. So if I did not have my purse, that is a moral to all you girls out there. Bring your purse on dates. Bring your purse on dates.
That was like, I think I was in like year 11?
Yeah, 11.
Maybe. No, I was in sixth form.
6 1.
I can't remember how old. It was quite a while ago. It was like my first ever proper date.
You still talk to him now, though?
No, absolutely not. No.
So you don't go on dates anymore? So we can't go on a date then?
No, I do go on dates. It just, I have to pluck up a lot of courage to go. I don't know, I get shy.
Guys, bring your purse on the date, but no, I need to stop this. This is good that we're talking. No, we can't ask a question. We're going off track because I have a question. And hey, we're now talking about paying on the first date. The question is, now you beat, or let's say you beat the girl on the first date now.
Yeah.
Is there a chance that there could be a long-term relationship after this?
Yeah, of course. Why not?
So after you go on a date, you've done your thing with your girl, you're more than welcome for you guys, as in you're willing to take it further than a relationship.
Me.
I saw your thing, you wanted to say something.
You had something to say before. I'm processing.
That was for the other question.
No, don't say anything about the other question.
I can answer this, to be fair now. Like, it depends on both of you. If it's the thing you've met both the first time, for example, if she thought she put in a good shift, and or vice versa. No, I'm just getting into it because that's going to be some of the things that will put you off, because you may like this person, but then you may look at it as what's the word, a bit, what's the bougie, when you're like, but that aspect of it weren't, I kind of like them. So I'm saying it's not as clear cut as just, okay, fine. Yeah. You're assuming that you've hit it off and everything moves from there. You could say, okay, you keep dating for another couple of times, nothing happens. So there's a potential for that to go, but it depends on if both of you are on the same page and you have the same understandings and whatnot. You can't just, something's happened and I'm guaranteed it's going to go somewhere. Nah, do you get what I mean? It won't necessarily happen like that.
Yeah, I agree what he said. Like, for me, there's always love at first sight. Okay, you can have it like the first day you hit, then it carries on. First sight. There's love at first sight. Anyway, listen. What's your problem, man? Listen. Like, you hit the first day, everything's all good and stuff like that, and then the next day the chemistry is still there. So I mean, it's still popping. That's fine. it's all good. You can still go forward regardless what. But it depends on how also the girl's feeling as well. So if she's not feeling you, then you move you go to your side. But if you're both feeling each other, why not?
You not view it more like a beating thing?
Yeah, the start will determine, as well.
The start will determine by the end of the day, but it depends on how she is as well. So like if she's fine with it, I'm also fine with it. Why not?
Yeah, I think it's possible, but probably not likely, because I feel like it's a really unnatural way. Say it was to progress into a relationship, that's an unnatural way for it to progress into a relationship, because usually you get to know the person, and then sex is like a sign that like, yeah, like I want to be like intimate with you, like naked in front of you, like physically, emotionally, all of that. So it'd be weird to kind of like, you know, like start there, like where do you sort of progress from? And also I feel like, I wouldn't generalize and say girls and boys are different, but say in a girl's mind, like if you had sex on the first date and then you're calling her, texting her, all of that, it's like, I don't know, I feel like there's just like an imbalance of expectations, because it's like, is he into me or not? Like, is it just like a beat thing or not? I feel like there's a lot of grey there. You either have to be clear that like we're working towards a relationship, or it's just physical. Otherwise, I feel like one person's going to end up hurt if you're unsure. Like if it's a beat, it's a beat. If it's we're moving towards a relationship, it's a relationship.
Okay, for me personally, I prefer if we have sex like later on. But if on the first day you allow it, okay, cool. But then if the chemistry goes on, then fine. Like personally, I prefer to know you first and then see where it goes from there. But if you allow on the first date, yeah, why not? If it carries on, that's fine. I'm not against it. I mean, it's both ways. It can work both ways. Like you can like someone for a long time and then do it, and then you actually find there's nothing there, and then move on. But then you can do it on the first day, and it actually carries on for God knows how many years.
I think that if you do have sex on the first date and it does happen to like progress to a relationship, it would be a lot more dependent on the sex, because that was the foundation of your relationship. So it would be a necessity now because you're used to it. It wasn't something that came after that long graft of getting to know each other, because you did it backwards. You started with her usna and then you went to her mind.
Stop changing his pussy.
Okay.
You started off with the say it so they know.
So anyway, you went in there and then you ended up at, like, you then got to know her mind, whereas it's a bit different because now you've gone like there. You wouldn't appreciate her as a being, you appreciate her naked. Because I think all you will ever do is you'll always see her naked. And at that time when, you know, the roast is raw and you're thinking, rah, I could really use with some, you know, you would just imagine her naked. You wouldn't see her as a woman. You wouldn't see her as a human being. You would see.
Still in your mouth, you can't.
Okay. So you wouldn't see her as a human being first. You'll see her as a woman who can give you that good. So I think it's a bit risky, but it does happen. Oh, you're stunned. Oh, sorry, B. Sorry, B.
Because I feel like, guys are like more physical than like females. So I feel like it would make it hard for a guy to see you in any other way. Not any other way, but if, I don't know, like if you want to be respected for like your mind, or not respected for your mind, like if you want a guy to appreciate for your mind, your personality, all of that, I would imagine it'd become really difficult for him to do that if you've already you can't know kind of thing, if you've already given him your body, because you haven't given him a chance to sort of appreciate your mind first, because you've already given him your body. So then it's odd to kind of then be like, oh, like, but don't you care about me? Don't you have to hear what I have to say? But it's like, I don't know. I feel like it makes it hard for the guy because they're so physical, whereas females aren't really like that. Maybe a generalization, but.
And you guys aren't really in touch with your emotions, so like I know because honestly,
Guys. That's why you'll be surprised.
Okay, sorry,
but
men,
don't say men.
No, but compared
say some,
to,
yeah.
No, but compared to women, you guys aren't as in touch with your emotion. So one thing that I can't stand is if I'm trying to have a conversation with you and then you're telling me something about, do you know what? Do you know that thing you did for me that time? Could you do it again? What does that mean? I'm trying to tell you about something that's happened in my day. You're telling me, oh yeah, you know. I feel like that. No, but I'm not saying that you do it on purpose. I'm just saying that because that's what you're after. You're just used to just getting that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like if you got it from the start, you're gonna be direct now. There's no tipping toeing around you. You're just gonna be like, let's just do it again. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like the sentiment will be there. And if the sentiment ain't there, then I'm bouncing.
You can bounce.
I don't disagree with that.
You don't
But
disagree?
I also think to an extent that you'll be able to clock pretty early on if you're messing with this guy for X amount of time, and you're talking, just telling about your day and whatnot, and he's not listening. Part for me, the way I look at it is, if he's not giving you even that minute, a little bit of attention, like you said, bounce. So it's it's almost down to you to an extent, because you've given him what he wants. So if he wants to keep getting what he wants, I'm not saying you need to put him through bare hoops and whatnot, but even if it's just common courtesy, being able to pay attention to you when you're speaking, if you clock that by the second time, you need to dead him.
Yeah.
So it's not, and when you say in touch with our emotions, I don't think it's necessarily in touch. I think because women, for the most part, emotion is what guides you a lot of the time. Men are straight logical. So when it looks like we're not in touch, it's because we've looked at it and been like, that makes no sense. So every little thing, I find women tend to attach some form of emotion. We're looking at anything that's completely insignificant. So it's not because we're trying to ignore you, but you have to understand that to us, because you lost, men, the way I look at it is, men have X amount of words, let's call it 10, women have 100. So by the time, and then, like literally, so like I'll give you a quick example. My past relationship, I did a lot of telesales and whatnot, so I'm talking the whole day. I get home, I'm looking for 1 hour, 2 hours of just, I don't want to be, even if we're not around, we're talking I'm like, I've talked to you 5 to 6 days out of the week. One day I have nothing to say to you. Thank you. Real talk. I'm not saying every woman's like that, but a lot of women are, where you have this thing of, it's like, okay, cool, but it's not that I'm not in touch with emotions, I just don't want to talk. Because, you're attaching an importance to everything, when there's no importance to half the stuff you're attaching the emotion to. You see where I'm coming from? So it's not like we're not in touch. We're just like, okay, she's being emotional again. Cool. And we try and be respectful about it. But if you're running with a dickhead, then by the second time you know early on that you should leave him.
All right, cool. Ladies and gents, thank you.